Tippy time, my damies, and welcome to Season 2, Episode 14 of Reviewedly Interrupted. With me, your host, Early Morning Tang. As you can see, I got that early morning hair going on. Alright. No, but here we go with Hellbound, Hellraiser 2. Show off these lovely sets again. Arrow. Beautiful. But let's pop this some bitch out here. We're talking about Part 2. Yes. Hellbound, Hellraiser 2. Released in 1988, rated R, hour and 37 minutes long. These are short movies. Like, could you imagine if they would have been like the what used to be like all the time, like 2 hours was like the movie length for like. Could you imagine just a 30 more minutes of this movie? What if they threw in there? I'm not even talking about just like, oh, just pack it with more gore effects, but just packing it with like more like story even, you know. It's like it'd be like fucking whoa. Starring Doug Bradley coming back, Ashley Lawrence coming back, Claire Higgins coming back. Then we got Kenneth Cranham and William Hope, directed by Tony Randall, who also directed Ticks, which is a really fun older fucking horror movie. Amityville 1992, It's About Time. I don't know if you've seen that, but I have, and it's about the clock, of course. And Children of the Night. I think I've seen that one. I can't remember, but that's like his horror ones, his ones that stuck out. But I love seeing the New World Pictures logo. When you see that, you know you're seeing some like good classic fucking, you know, horror. Every generation has their like classic, you know. It's like when it got to a certain point, you know, the Universal monsters they're still like the classic, but it's like as generations go on, classic for that generation, because I mean shit, this stuff, like, we're in 2025 now. This shit came out in the 80s. That's a while ago, bro. But I love seeing that because it's a classic one that you don't see anymore. It's from an era where some like really good horror came out, and it was cool. And I love the recap of Part 1 for the beginning. It starts off the movie with straight up intensity. You know how the first one started off, it's like, oh, okay, the puzzle box, and you know, we're like learning like some shit, but like, oh no. Yeah. So it's like it starts off with like way more intensity, and it's like what's cool is, if there's not a cut, there should be, where it's just like you take out the fucking end credits of the first one and just put them together. Just put them together, because it's like it seems like this could be one long huge movie, which would be kind of interesting to see it cut that way. You see more of exploding Lank. It's not like a lot more, but I think there's like another like second and a half, maybe 2 seconds, where it's like you get to see a little more of him exploding. And the very simple credits again, which is another like kind of classic thing of the time, where it's like just black, white, like fucking credits over the top of just a black screen, and just boom, you got some music, that haunting theme again. And it's very simple, but you know, after the intensity of that, it's like a little bit of like, oh, okay, you know, you're kind of like a breather. And we get to see Pinhead's origins, and also a peek into how a Cenobite is created. You know, because in the first one they're just there, but in the second one it ramps it up to like, that's why I'm saying it could almost be cut as one big long movie, because this one all of a sudden it's like adding more to that story of like, oh, you know, where did these motherfuckers come from? Okay, so they opened the box too, but with him it was like he was turned into, you know, one of these creatures. So it's like, okay, but there's still so many questions, although we get a little bit of an answer of like, okay, you know, this is where this motherfucker came from and what happened. There's still some questions there. And that's why I wrote, like, who gets chosen and why? Because, you know, like, Frank, he just gets sent to, like, this tormented hell. But fucking homie here gets turned into Pinhead and gets to be a Cenobite and go around and, like, you know, collect souls or whatever, you know? And so the dead body and the wicker chest effects, all the maggots and stuff, really cool. That's like, it's just... Even in 4K, you can even tell even more. It's like, it's definitely effect. It's a very good effect, like very like just, I don't know, very like gross looking effect and shit. But and then just all the maggots on top of it. It's like good classic like practical effects, man. No CGI, just straight practical. I love it. Drinking coffee. It's morning, I told you. And we see the correlation between the place of death. Oops. Oh, there we go. I spit a little bit of coffee. I got a little bit of coffee in my mustache and spit it on this. I'm sorry. The place of death and the point of resurrection. We get to see the correlation between that because, like, Frank dies up in that attic, and so it's like, even though it's like he gets sent to hell, there's still something of him left there, like that could be. Like, because he died there, that becomes like a portal he can come back through. And we see that in the second one with the mattress that Julia dies on, and that's where she resurrects from, So it's like wherever this person was killed by the box or their soul was taken or whatever, and the fucking, it seems like it's layered what happens, I guess. I don't know. That's the only place they can be brought back from, and you have to use blood, and it's like, I don't know. So there's a definite correlation where it's like death, boom. The girl solves puzzles. It could be more overshadowing if they just said, "Hey, she's gonna open the box because she does puzzles." They could have yelled that at you. That's the only more over. It's like, okay, it's cool though, man. We're starting to suspect the doc is up to something. The doc, he's acting a little weird. He seems just like his mannerisms, the way he's listening to the story. It's like he knows something, I am in hell, help me scene. That was really cool, It's like, so it's so bloody. It's, even though it's like not splatter. It's not like this splatter gore fucking scene and everything. But the body that's just completely covered in blood. They're dragging across the floor. You see this trail of blood. They're writing like, I am in hell, help me, in blood. It's just like, it's very bloody, because I think what makes it look even more bloody is the contrast with like the white, that's like the white and the really light colors all around it. It really makes that red fucking go boom. So it's like, even though it's not splattered all over the fucking screen, it like screams at you, So it's like, that was pretty cool. And it says, so bloody and nasty, but who is it? It's like you look and you're like, who could that be? Is that maybe the boyfriend? It could be like even the fucking boyfriend, dude. We're not quite sure yet, And the bottom floor, yep, the doc is a dickhead. He's got all those really crazy people not really helping him. He's not doing anything for him, putting him in straitjackets and shoving him down in the fucking basement. It's like, I get that they are like the severe super schizos and stuff, so it's like they got like fucking, like, their minds are gone, but it's like, I don't know, aren't you supposed to do something? I don't know. It just looks like he's like being like really horrible. I don't know how that works. I've never worked in one. I've never ran one, so I don't know. Kirsty automatically assumes the skinned, bloody figure was her dad, but was it? We kind of assume also at first, because I was saying, it's like we're not sure, and it's like she's like, "Daddy," so it's like, oh, okay, so like her dad got taken to hell too and everything, so. Okay, her dad's screaming after her, so she's gonna have to rescue her dad. So we automatically assume that too, because we're like, okay, that must be where it's going, because we have no idea. And we're watching a movie, and that's kind of what movies do a lot of the time is, through some kind of visual or some kind of audio line in the movie, they progress the plot along, And so it's like, we kind of like, oh, okay, at least I tell you what, at first I did. So yeah, I thought that was pretty cool, because it adds like a little red herring deal there. Delivering a mattress. We know which mattress he means. When we overhear him on the phone, it's like, oh yeah, this guy's up to some shit. Oh, this motherfucker right here, what's he gonna do? And then a cool montage, but feels like a time filler. Doc's house is very upper class 80s. Yeah. I mean, they do some cool stuff there, but it's like there is moments where it's like it felt like a time filler. The montage of I do believe it was some shit from the first movie, you know, and it's like it felt like a time filler. It was like a lot of the like really cool moments, but it's like no, we didn't need it, but it was cool, but it just felt like a time filler. And then Doc's house is very upper class 80s. I mean, really, when you look at it, it's like you see those 80s movies where it's like the people are like, maybe I wouldn't say like super wealthy, but they're doing really, really well, you know, in the stock market. You know what their house looks like? Very almost sterile. It's like if Art Deco was emo or something and just didn't want to try. I don't know. Maybe that's the closest I can get to like figuring it out. Yep, it's the death mattress. He wanted the death mattress, and like I said before, there's only got to be one reason why he would want the death mattress. Only one fucking reason. I mean, like as soon as I saw that mattress, I was like, oh, I know what's gonna happen, and sure enough. And it says Doc be into some shit. The puzzle box. What I put? Oh, the puzzle box pick, like, you know, the drawing, like how it has a picture. He has got a picture of it up, and boxes and cases. Now we know that he is most definitely into some shit and knows Kirsty ain't crazy. So it's like, yeah, as soon as we see the picture up on the wall and we see those three different, like there's three boxes now. We just knew that there was one, but now all of a sudden there's multiple. It's like, oh shit, the plot thickens. And like, so we know, like, that's why when Kirsty was talking to him, he kind of had that look on his face. It's because, like, he knows all about this shit. He's like, oh, he's one step closer to figuring out or, like, finding out, like, about all this shit that he's been reading about, the weird old fuck. Yeah. And then great body horror effects with the schizo. More great, disgusting, and violent Hellraiser shit. You know, it's like where it just the you know, the latex effects of like all the cut upness and the fucking just the sores and everything else, and then just how it's like, you know, they'll add in like the blood and then the maggots and everything. It's like really great, like fucking just disgusting effects from the 80s. It's pretty cool. It's pretty fun. Tell you what, that'll always like it'll always be a lot more fun than CGI, even though they're getting like really fucking, the CGI now is getting very close, but still you can tell it's CGI. But like the old practical effects, even if you can tell they're fake, they're just so disgusting. They just look more disgusting. All right, Julia's resurrection is less transformative, you know, like Frank's whole, like his body growing back together. And more of a blood-soaked, gory birth. You know, instead of like a reassembling, it was more like a birth where she just, you know, sprang forth from the mattress and everything. It was a different one, and I liked that it wasn't the you know how there's different Cenobites. We saw the different Cenobites, and we see it's like just the way they take people, just the way the resurrections happen. It's like it adds more dimension to it, which is pretty cool, because it could be just simple like, oh, this is how it always happens, and it's like I guess it could turn run of the mill, even if they made like, I mean, how are you going to keep upping yourself with a resurrection scene where somebody is coming back together? You know, it's like it's going to get to a point where it's like, oh, how do we outdo the last badass one we did? By movie 4, you're like, shit. You know, it's like you can still do some crazy awesome stuff, but it's like, you know, then I like how it's like they mix it up. That's what another thing that makes like these Hellraiser movies so great. Like the franchise is like it'll go, and it's like there's a lot of just real Hellraiser themes, puzzle box, pinhead, all this stuff, but you know, it'll really mix it up and give you something new. So it's like whether a hit or a miss with some of these sequels, they're going to give you something different, and that's pretty cool. All right, that whole scene is full-on horror awesomeness. Yes, the gory mattress filth and all that, and then another great bodysuit effect with Julia. I mean, that whole scene where it's like where she's like crawling and she drags that fucking schizo guy, and then like how his face looks when she's like, you know, sucking out his blood and or whatever in the fuck, and like and then crawling back to the mattress and then the gore filth on the mattress. Just that whole scene is just like so fucking like, god damn, dude. It's like it takes what happened with the I am in hell, help me scene, and like takes it up a few notches. So it's like, you know, you get like the bloody gore, you get a lot more of it there, where it's like, oh shit, there we go. Where before it kind of held back a little bit, then it's like straight up in your face. And I said I'd be annoyed at her for walking around getting blood on everything, where she keeps touching shit. It's like, would you stop doing that? I got white fucking walls, man, and you're like touching them and shit with your bloody fingers. Could you just not? Can we do something to where you're not touching and getting blood all over my nice white shit? You know, because that it's kind of rude. Come on now. With the bandages looking like Ms. Mummy. She does look like, it's like she gets wrapped up like a mummy. It's kind of, I don't know, like, and I always thought, like, wouldn't the bandages, like, since they're on, like, the wetness and everything, and as they would soak up the wetness and then they would dry, when he was taking them off later, wouldn't they stick, and wouldn't it be weird, and wouldn't you have to, like, change them a lot? I don't know how those work, man. It just seems like it would be like painful. Like you'd have to rip them off later and it'd be like, ah, I don't know. Kirsty dragging some other poor unsuspecting dude into her hellish BS. Not on purpose, but still. The fucking doctor's assistant guy, you know, she drags him into this shit. Like she didn't mean to, but it's like she should have just like been like, hey bro, and like, because I mean, how could she not tell? It's like, okay, this guy's showing some interest. Well, I guess like she's been through, she was going through some shit, like, you know, her old dad dying, and her uncle wearing his skin and stuff, you know, and then so I can see how she might have been distracted. Never mind, I take that back. But it's like just like by accident, but he gets sucked into this, and it's like, oh man, this is not gonna be good for this guy. It's like, dude, you don't know what you're getting into. Just like go back and do your thing. Knock it off. The gender swap plot, but also a natural progression from part one. You know, it's like some people might look at it as like, okay, so now we're gonna get like the female bad guys. We're gonna, but what I like about it is it's a natural progression that Julia would come back, because Frank, we already dealt with Frank, and Julia was actually like, even though Frank was like the big bad guy in part one or whatever, it's like Julia was actually like the main villain in that one through most of that movie. So it really was like natural for Julia to be the one to come back, you know, because yeah, there was Frank, yeah, there was the Cenobites, blah blah blah. Julia was the main villain through part one. Yeah, Frank was like, go kill people and bring them, or no, go bring people here so I can take their skin, you know. Yes, he was the one having her do it, but she was doing it, and we were with her, watching her bring these people in and then doing the killing. I don't know why my throat's so fucking dry. It's stupid. I'm trying to do this stupid video and stupid dry throat. Stupid. So it's like, it's a natural progression. It really is. I found it to be a very natural progression. Kyle homie meets Julia, and we go, oh shit. As soon as Julia pops up behind Kyle, and we're like, oh dude, you do not, oh bro, just listen, don't talk to her, just get the fuck out of there. You do not know how evil this bitch is, because we know. And she's playing all night stuff, and he's like, oh, and it's like, no, dude, no, she is straight up to the bone fucking evil. Get the fuck out. And the whole come to mother, I love that. I love that line. You know, I love that line, because it was just like you know, it's a great callback to the first movie in a new way, and I loved it. You know, well, we find out that Julia is still a cunt. Yeah, she hasn't repented at all. She's come back, and she's still just a big ol' see you next Tuesday. Then they give Rain Man Girl the box. Uh-oh. Yeah. when the little puzzle, like the fact she can do puzzles, it's like, of course, we knew this was going to happen, especially once we knew the doctor was totally into that shit. We're like, oh yeah, he's going to give her a fucking box. When it's going to happen, just, I don't know when, but I'm ready. And sure enough, you know. And then in 4K, I can really see even more detail on the puzzle box, the wood grain under the golden places and stuff. It's like, like it showed a really like real zoomed in up close shot of the puzzle box, and like I could see the wood grain. It's like the 4K really brought it out, and I'm like, man, it was like you really do start to see like even more detail, and it's just like, whoa. It's not like I wouldn't say it's like this huge like crazy leap up from Blu-ray, but it's enough of a leap up that it's like it's really like the clarity is getting crazy good on these. And it's like for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, it was almost weird because it took out a lot of the grit, you know, from like, you know, just like the lower quality or the lower transfers, you know, even down to like DVD, you know, it took out some of that grit. But the clarity, especially on like some of those beautiful shots, was great. And it's the same thing in like these Hellraiser movies back from the 80s. I mean, you get a lot of clarity and it's just awesome. And then, it is not hands that call us, it is desire. So we get to see, it's like, okay, so like the girl opened it, and in the first one we think like, you open that box, that's it, you're the one they want. And it's like, okay, so it's not hands, because she's not looking for anything, she's just doing puzzles. But it's the desire to open the box and find out the mysteries, and find those carnal pleasures that they're seeking. Like, that is where the Cenobites come in. And then it could mean every time or just that time. You know, it is a big question. But Kirsty got knocked the fuck out. Like, Julia gave her a backhand, like, boom, motherfucker, and knocked her the fuck out. That was a good one. Hell looks boring and mostly empty. Would definitely be hell for me. Mm-hmm. Excuse me, just all like long passages of nothing, walking out into this big open space where there's stairs going. You don't see anybody, you don't see anything. It looks empty, like an empty wasteland, and boring. That would be hell for me, is just being bored for like eternity. Be like, so what are you doing? There's like nothing to do. I just keep walking, and this is like, this fucking sucks. That would be it. I just walk and I sleep, dude. This is eternity. This is fucking shit. So yeah, that would be hell for me. Didn't open the box. Didn't know what the box was, but we keep finding each other. I say that, and it's like, yes, why? Because they keep drawing. They do keep getting drawn to her. They show up, and it's like they are drawn to her. It's like when she opened the box, there was something in Kirsty that keeps drawing them to them. So there's something about Kirsty that we don't know. We don't know. There's still a mystery there. We have eternity to know your flesh. Such great lines all the way through these like Hellraiser movies. Great lines. Julia showing the doc around hell, drawing him into the dark depravity. All the stuff like, check this out, man. All the sexiness and stuff. Oh yeah, sexiness and like chains and like pain and stuff. Yeah. And then the doc gets hit by the beams, and we see he's always kind of been a psychopath. Where it shows like his memory of where he was like cutting open that animal and had the, you know, and all that other kind of shit. It's like all the sadistic shit he's done and still doing. You know, so it's like we see that he's been a bad motherfucker for a while. And then his transformation is wicked, man. It goes fucking nuts. It's just like, it's so brutal, especially every time I see like the wires go around his face, you're like, oh. I'm like, damn, dude. And it was Frank in hell, we find out. Duh. So, oh man, that red herring of like, I'm gonna rescue my father. Oh, no, of course it's Frank. And then I wrote that Frank is so atrocious. He is. He's just horrible. He's just a total piece of shit. There's nothing redeeming about Frank. Frank's a piece of shit. And then Julia wasn't having any more of Frank's BS. She like did all this shit for him, and then like when he killed her in the first one, and then now she's like, I see what you're about, you cocksucker. And so she's like, nah, I ain't your ride or die no more, Frank. And that was that. And then I love that line, and to think I hesitated. I love that fucking line where it's just like, after going through all that weird, crazy pain and getting transformed and everything, it's like this twisted son of a bitch loves that shit. So it's just like, oh yeah. And then the secondhand skin seems flimsy. Like secondhand skin doesn't seem to like hold very well. You know, like Julia is just like, it's like, what? So it's like, I don't know. They're trying to get this skin, but it's like, how long does it take for the skin to not just like slip off? Or is that like always a thing and you got to be really careful? That seems like you'd have to walk weird and then people would know that you're not right or something. I don't know. And then the Doc Cenobite suit is definitely unique and maybe too much, I said. It's like, you could tell that in this one, they wanted to go over the top. You know, we got to see Pinheads at the beginning and it was like really cool. You know, it's like, it wasn't crazy over the top like the Doc's was. The Doc's was like, fucking what? And he's getting carried around by some tentacle thing. You know, it's like what I could have seen. I think the thing that was like attached to his head and, you know, moving him around. I thought that was the part that was a little much. It's like, how is he getting around then? And it's like, does this thing just like, is it always attached to something giant? Does it go and like, when he comes into like the real world or whatever, our world, does like the end of the tentacle go through a doorway back into hell so it can still be attached or something? You know, it's like there's questions to that where it's like, I'm watching this fucking movie and wondering about the science of how that would work, and it's like, dude, just watch the fucking movie. Like, look at that thing's in his head and he's got snake things that have things pop out of their mouths. Like, it's like, come on, get out of the science of it. But I did have questions. It's like, how would that work? Just realizing that, and so that's kind of funny to me. The amputated hand, almost realistic. Almost realistic. It did look cool. A more beastly Chatterer. The look, you know, the look from the first movie, they definitely like elongated it more and gave it more like definition, like more beastly. And then Chatterer used to be a young boy. And that must have been one hell of an evil fucker, because you see Desire opens the box, they come, and if you're like, I guess, even more evil than Frank, that you become a Cenobite. And so it's like, that was a Cenobite, and so that kid must have been like fucking horrible. Like fucking demon seed shit. I think it's cool that they showed Doug Bradley's face in this one. The man behind the mask stuff, where it's like, because he could have done all the movies as Pinhead that he was in. I know that like some newer ones, you know, they switched it up for better or worse. But you know, he could have only been that for like ever, and people would have seen that and not really known him. So it was really cool to be like, this is the guy. It's like, this is the guy that already he's starting to become an icon. Just wait, motherfuckers. You know, I thought that was cool. This is really cool. The box is Satan. This part is a little where it's showing like Leviathan, that's my lord, and it's like the box in the sky and everything, and it's like, so it's the box is Satan, like he lives in it. That's kind of confusing to me. I don't know. Like I'll actually like watch with the commentaries. I think I gotta watch some more of these with the commentaries. I'm hoping that if I do, there'll be more to the story that's revealed to me, and then I can be more smarter about it. But we'll see. But like it would, like, I don't think I've watched the commentaries with these, so it would be cool to watch the commentaries of these Hellraiser movies. And it's like I'm going through a lot of them, and I gotta pick it up, man. I'm falling behind. The giant worm thing attached to the Docobite's head looks more like a dick. There's that one, all of a sudden it's like, it looks almost like phallic. And it's like kind of like funny because, you know, as I said, he's a dickhead. And I love how his head is ripped in half instead of clean off. When that thing just fucking goes, oh, and rips off, how it doesn't just decapitate him into his whole head, how it splits right at the jaw. That was fucking sick. I was like, yes. I don't know, there's something, it seems more hardcore seeing a head ripped in half instead of just off. There's something even more like, whoa, about that to me. And then the flimsy secondhand skin saves the day. Here comes Kirsty dressed in Julia's skin, so it's flimsy, but I guess it's good camo. Well, yeah, I mean, that's what it's kind of used for in a way. Well, it wasn't the first one, but Julia, she just took skin and got to look like herself, so I don't know. Here's something you got to remember. Before his head got ripped in half, Kirsty in Julia's skin made out with Docobite, and that's gross. She made out with that Cenobite dude. She was straight up just like tongue in his mouth and everything. Like, I didn't see tongue in mouth, but you would assume that if they were like totally making out, that there'd be tongue. And it's like, you stuck your tongue in that, dude? That's fucking gross, dude. Like, who knows what you could get from that? Don't do that. I drank from hoses growing up and like spigots and stuff, but like, I don't think I'd ever stick my tongue in a Cenobite. That seems like you'd get something like, I don't know, like you turn your tongue into wasps. I don't know. A very British kind of ending with Kirsty and Rain Man Girl walking away, where they're in that garden. It looks very British, like, and I don't mean that in like any kind of like way. It's just like, you know how like those British ghost stories where they'd be at a big mansion or something would happen at a big mansion and there'd be the ending where they'd walk away because there was the gardens, you know, and they wanted to show the beautiful gardens because, I mean, shit, there was great scenery there. So it's like that kind of thing where it's a British ghost story ending kind of look to me. And, you know, of course, Clive Barker's British and everything. And so, I mean, I don't know. There was something about it where it's like this movie, especially Hellbound, Hellraiser 2, it has like all these pieces that fit together that are like, I don't know, like different types of horror movies a little bit. Cause like just that scene, there's something about it that's just like, I don't know how to explain it. Like the type of feeling or whatever it would evoke with the whole like, but it's like a melancholy serenity or something like that. It's a very British where it's like the overcast sky. And I don't know, but like a lot. Then you have like this straight up like American type gore shit going on. So followed immediately by a very American ending. It's like, I loves it. The very American ending is, of course, the big old like hangy box thing with all the amalgamation of crazy bullshit all over it, and the little all the little humpy skeletons that are all over it are pretty fucking silly. I find them to be silly, and it's funny. It's like I don't think they were meant to be silly, but they look fucking silly. Okay, it looks silly. Oh man. And like, I just love it. Like, you know, Clive Barker's little guy comes back up, and you got like the locusts or whatever all over. The puzzle, like, it's not the puzzle box though. I don't know what the fuck you would call that. I don't know. But when that box comes up with all the shit out, it's like pretty cool. Especially how it adds in some more stuff from this movie. It's like, you can see how like as it goes along, it's like collecting new parts of people to add to its little trophy collection. It's like a trophy thing. So yeah, Hellraiser 2, man. Hellbound, Hellraiser 2. I really enjoy this movie. It's like a direct continuation of the first one, which is pretty cool. Definitely ramps it up a little bit, like gets a little more intense. I would say this is, yeah, it's, you know, the first movie just seems to be like, I don't know, it's more straightforward. Like I said, it has a more gothic feel. The gothicness, any kind of gothic gothic and any kind of gothic feeling that was from the first one, and it's not really there. It's not there anymore. This is full on fucking, we're in it to win it horror now, with a more like rock and roll vibe. That's the only way I can say it. Think about it, is like when it gets more like, yeah, like that, it's just like, it's more of a rock and roll vibe, less of a, okay, let's like tell a story and get into it and like, you know, maybe get a little bloody, where it's, I don't know, there's this different type of intensity or something, level of stuff and things it does. Yeah. So next I'm gonna do, of course, Hellraiser 3 Hell on Earth. That's the one I'm gonna do next. And I actually enjoy the first, like, I really enjoy the first 5 Hellraiser movies a lot. They're like my favorite. The first 5 are like my favorite. Up to 6, like I still like 6. 6 has more of a made for TV feel to it, or like an HBO original, and less like following like New Line Cinema type stuff. You know, it has a different. That's all I'm saying. Like New World Pictures, blah blah blah. Like it just has a different kind of look and feel to it. But like, yeah, it's gonna be fun to do part 3 because there's some even wilder Cenobites where they're like, okay, let's make it even crazier, and it's like, all right, fuck it, let's do it. But yeah, I think I've signed your pity on the running time pretty well for part 2. As you can see, I'm doing a lot more notes. I'm really getting into it, man. Coffee. But yeah, Hellraiser. If you got a 4K, definitely pick these up. This is an awesome little set for 4K. You know, it's got a lot of special features and shit. Very much fun. If you don't have 4K yet, like, this is actually from Arrow, a very awesome little set too. It's a very cool looking little set. It comes with the first 3. I think you can also get the tetralogy on Blu-ray also. So, but yeah, that's it, man. I'm gonna like go do something else now. Probably get some more coffee. That's what you do in the morning. But all right, till next time, fuckers. Yeah. Bye.